Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Have a rare springtime bow review for you. We're going to tell you about the PSE Fortis. And what I have here is the Fortis 33, that's axle to axle. There is a Fortis 30 as well. And this is a great hunting bow from PSE. Of course, we're right in the middle of Total Archery Challenge season. This is going to be a great bow for tack events as well, but bow hunting, that's going to be your primary use for the Fortis line of bows. And you know, this has all the features that we've come to love on the most recent PSE bows. You got multiple cam options, you know, it's smooth drawing, you got high let off, just lots of great features built into this bow to allow you to customize it. We'll tell you all about it. Let's go into the features of the Fortis 33. All right, so the Fortis 33 that I have right here, I have the EC2 cam on here. This is probably what would be considered the easiest pulling cam of the three. There are three options. You're gonna have the E2 and you're gonna have the S2. Both of those are gonna have some higher speed ratings. Here with this EC2, this cam, the speed rating, IBO speed rating is 334 feet per second. All right, so your total draw length across the three cams is going to be from 26 inches to 32 and a half. Again, that's over the three cams. The EC2 cam that I have here is 26 to 31 and a half. You know, then your S2 and your E2, those are the other two cams. They're going to be, again, the speed rating for them is going to be faster. That E2 is going to be the one that gets you to that 32 and a half. You know, if you got a super long draw length, that's going to be that E2 cam. S2 cam is going to max out at 30 inches. So it's just great to have the three different cam options so that you can get really good performance. I always tend to opt for bows that are easy to draw. I'd rather have that than the speed. Accuracy is more important to me. So this EC2 with that slower speed, it's got a 7 1/8 inch brace height. So this bow, the Fortis 33 with the EC2 cam, has the biggest brace height at 7 1/8 inches, which just makes this thing feel super comfortable at full draw. A new feature that we're seeing on PSEs, you know, starting last fall, is that these bows do come with their Easy 220 spacer system. So right in here, you're gonna see this little tab sticking down right here. So what that is a spacer. And the reason that there's a tab sticking down is there's a little hole in it that you can stick a tool in and pull this right off. These spacers do not totally encapsulate the axle. If you think of them as like a clip-on, that's how they're designed. And so you do have to put the bow in a press. And once you press it, you take those spacers out. They are different thicknesses. You can see right now there are two different thicknesses on this bow here. They're pretty similar, but they are two different ones. The one on this side is a little bit thinner than the one on this side. And there are multiple sizes. The reason they call it the Easy 220 is you're gonna match up your spacers to come in any combination as long as you get 0.220 inches. That's gonna give you the proper spacing in between the limbs there. But it's a super simple system. You just put the bow in a press because you got to take that pressure off of the cam, pop the spacers out, and then you can move the cam left and right, put your spacers back in, and you're good to go for tuning. It's really simple. And I know folks were worried about those spacers because they are clip-on. Folks were thinking, those are going to fly off at the shot. The way they are designed, that can't happen. The way they clip in, it actually works in a reverse direction. So, you know, when these things are put under stress, they actually want to move into the axle as opposed to away from it. So these things do not pop out. You don't have to worry about that. All right, so on the mod, we're going to see something that we've seen from PSE for years. There are going to be three positions where this screw is right here. That's going to adjust your let off. On this mod, it is going to be 80, 85, or 90%. I have it in the 90% position, but you can adjust that to get that however you want that, whatever let off that you want. Now, coming down underneath the cam, you are going to see here something else PSE has been doing for a while. We have our precision bus tuning system. So a lot of times when we see this yoke under here, it will be, this string here will be one piece that comes around, underneath, and back up, and it is separate from the bowstring. That's not what's happening here. What PSE does is the string comes up, and then they separate the bundle so that it actually crosses over and comes up to the connect on the cams here. Now what that allows you to do is, if you need to do some yoke tuning, you can put twists in one side, take them out of the other to affect cam lean. To be perfectly honest, I've never had to do that with these bows. With the Easy 220 spacer systems, that's how I correct my left-right tears. If it's not the rest, I just go up to the cam and move that cam left and right. So I've never had to do that, but there is that capability to affect that cam lean a little bit. And along with that, you know, with that Easy 220 system, that is how you're going to tune. Something else that used to happen was you could get close with a paper tear and then come down and shift the cable arm. Well, now the way PSE connects them is they are pinned in place. 2 pins. This is not dog leg shaped, so you're not loosening the cable arm and moving it back and forth. That's for stability. If you can loosen it, what's going to happen? It's going to come loose. So this one, it is straight. You're not moving this cable arm. The cables are in the correct position. So you don't have to adjust them in order to do your paper tuning. You're going to use that Easy 220 system. So this is pinned in place, super rock solid cable arm. Of course, it's got rollers on the back, rollers that the cables go through here. That just makes for that, you know, helps with that smooth draw cycle. Now, again, as we mentioned, customizable. That's what we want to do. You're going to see here that there is a Picatinny mount on the front for your sight. If that's what you want to do, you can mount one of those sights that has the pick mount receiver there. That's super handy, especially if you're taking your sight on and off. The pick mount is the most secure way to do that, to remove a sight and then get it back so you know it's going to be in the same place. That's what the Picatinny, that's where it really shines, is if you have to remove it. You know, to put it in a bow case or something like that, you can pop that sight off. That's a lot more secure than removing a sight like this and then putting it back on. It may not be exactly where you wanted it, but you are able to mount a sight this way if you want, the traditional way, bolted onto the side. Coming down to the rest area, we have all the options. Every rest that's on the market, you can put on this bow. First off, you're going to have your 2 burger holes here. So that's for your standard mount rest that you would bolt onto the outside there. Then, as you can see, I do have the Hamski Epsilon mounted onto this bow. So what that is, there are 2 holes drilled into the riser, and there's a special Hamski plate that you would screw into that mount that allows you to mount the Epsilon. There also is machined into the riser, you're going to have the dovetail for the standard integrate styles. QAD is probably the best known for making those integrate style rests. You could put that one on as well. And before I get off the Hamski mounting system first, I'm going to give you a quick pro tip here about the Epsilon. We hear a lot that folks are connecting their rest control cable to this precision bus yoke on here. Boy, it does look like a nice spot to do it. However, the folks at Hamski will tell you, and we've tested it ourselves, don't connect it there. You, especially the rests that have the rebound dampener, you want to run that to the limb. So what happens when you connect that cord to the yoke is at the shot, everything's moving forward. This cable actually flexes forward at the shot. Well, if it's flexing forward at the shot, your rest is coming back up. We've seen it in high speed. That actually happens. That when you connect it here, especially with the rebound dampener, this thing has extra weight, so it's even pulling that cable farther forward. It acts like a pendulum, you know, it just pulls that cord forward, the rest bounces back up. Now, it may not impact your arrow, but it certainly can impact your arrow, which is why Hamski will always tell you, connect it to the limb. That's not going to happen. Your rest isn't going to pop back up when you're connected to the limb. So, just a sidebar there for those Hamski rests. Now, coming around to the grip. So with the Fortis, you are going to get PSE's traction grip is going to come from the factory. That is this rubber grip here. You know, it's got some nice stippling on the back to add extra grip. It is called the traction grip, and it does give you some nice feel under your hand that you can get into a nice spot there. Of course, on those cold days when you're out bow hunting, that rubber is going to feel good. And I'll say it is a nice grip with the rubber on there. It's nice and flat. It's got rounded edges down here, so it's not sharp, but you can feel where the edges are. However, if you don't like that, you can just pop that grip off and there'll be a finished section of riser underneath. If you prefer to shoot off that, you can do that as well. So coming down to the bottom of the riser, something PSE includes with the Fortis bows is their kill shock riser dampener. And you know, I have it mounted down here in a very low hole. You of course can switch, you can put your stabilizer down here. You can mount this in any of the spots where you would mount stabilizers here or on the back. But I have it in this position here. But this thing helps with killing some of that vibration through the aluminum handle. So, you know I'm gonna say it, it is a 2023 hunting bow. It is dead in the hand. You know I'm going to say that. And with PSE, you should expect that. That's the way bows are being designed today. PSE is not going to put out a bow that has a ton of hand shock. You're not going to feel much vibration. This thing doesn't want to jump out of your hand. But any of that noise, you know, for bow hunters in particular, this kill shock, that was one of the things I noticed at the shot with this bow. Super quiet. It is a real quiet bow. All right, so for shooting the Fortis 33 inches axle to axle, that's the kind of length that I like. You know, for folks who want a shorter bow that's a little bit faster, they do have the 30. I'm going to choose the 33 inch if there's that option. I'm going to choose that every time. And this thing just holds like a dream at full draw. String angle is perfect for me. You know, it draws nice, it holds nice. I was able to get this bow tuned very quickly. I actually didn't have to mess with the Easy 220 spacers. It was just simple rest and knock height adjustments. I got a bullet hole. Got this thing shooting nice, came out here on the range, was able to shoot it at distance. Just a nice drawing bow, a nice holding bow, and then after the shot, the experience is nice as well. All right, so that is the PSE Fortis 33. Great new flagship hunting bow from the folks at PSE. Remember, if you want to check out this product on our page, click the link in the description. It'll take you to it. You can look at all the variations. This is a pro shop only bow, so you're gonna have to get it from your local pro shop that deals in PSE. But we do list it on our website just so you can check it out while you're doing your background investigation before you go to the pro shop. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.